Welcome back to Press Coverage. I'm Ian. This is Tuesday after Week 10 in the NFL. Some boring games, some bad games, some interesting games. The Saints are unbeatable after they lost to Fitzmagic. But that's not where we're going to start. Adam, what is the worst job in the world you can think of?
Worst job in the
The
world?
worst job you can think of.
My job?
There's jobs worse than your job.
Uh,
What is a job?
factory worker in a third world country.
You have like no imagination at all.
Well, what are you considering?
I'm thinking man, like one of those guys that has to go up like on the windmills and fix it, or that's like sewage
Squeegee
workers.
cleaner? The squeegee
Something,
cleaner?
something where it's like you just like it's like where you're like it's not you couldn't pay me enough. Anywho, let me Adam fill time. I'm gonna look up worst jobs in the world.
Worst jobs in the world.
Well, fill time. Let's see. Let's see what they are. The 20 worst jobs in the world. Career addict. Very reliable source. This is definitely going to be the top list. Number one is telemarketer. I don't believe that. I feel like there's a lot worse jobs than a telemarketer. Social worker, customer. Miner. That's a good one. Miner. Slaughterhouse
That is
worker.
a tough job.
Traffic warden. Animal food tester.
Well,
Okay,
to
here
be
we
fair,
go.
I don't.
Port-A toilet cleaner. That's it. There we go. Port-A-Potty toilet cleaner.
To be fair, I don't think Joanna Zambris, the author of this article, has done any of these jobs.
All right, what about sewage cleaner? Okay, let's go sewage. The picture of the sewage cleaner is making animal masturbator. I didn't believe it either, but this is a legitimate job. There's several times where these collected from either manually or with an electric stimulator. Oh man, I can see a lot of weird people doing that job. All right, we'll go with like sewage. All right, top five: sewage cleaner, roadkill remover, porta potty cleaner, slaughterhouse worker, and miner. Okay, those are, let's say, the worst jobs in the world. Okay, we on the same page? Adam?
The paint. You don't care for the paint dry washer?
No, but are we on the same page there? We
That
good?
doesn't sound very fun though.
Oh my gosh, we good? Would you rather watch paint
Uh,
dry or sit in the sewer and clean a sewer?
Is the pay equal?
Yes.
I'd rather watch the paint dry.
Okay, so we have our worst five jobs. Okay. So
Yeah.
those jobs are terrible. For $14.5 million, would you do those jobs?
14.5 million a year?
For a year, for 1 year, would you do those jobs?
I feel like where you're leading to this, but no, I would not do any of these jobs for 14.5 million.
What? What? Sign me up. I do it. Let's go. I do all of them for 14.5 million. Are you kidding me?
For 14.5 million dollars, I got my dating life would be so bad after any of these jobs.
It's just for a year. It's just for a year. Anywho, I'm rounding this to the Le'Veon Bell, who
Yep, I
decided
knew that's where you're going.
this year to sit out for $14.5 million, and I saw a bunch of people being like, "Oh, everyone's saying they would do his job for $14 million, but they don't know what it's like to get hit. Don't know what it's like to have to be punished by a running back, or doesn't know what it's like to be." Yeah, I saw someone tweet about how much punishment he takes. Trust me, a ton of people in the United States would trade places with him for $14.5 million. I guarantee you that. There are a lot worse jobs in the world than running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm worse than you. Literally wouldn't be a slaughterhouse worker for $14.5 million a year.
I wouldn't pick that job, no.
Wow, that's just kind of shocking to me. I would do it. $14.5 million for 1 year. I'd do it.
You would remove roadkill?
Yes, 14.5. You're doing it for 1 year.
Dude, I couldn't even like poke that dog.
Are you
That's in the
serious?
picture.
See,
couldn't do
it's
it, man.
$14.5 million, Adam.
Money doesn't always talk, Ian. And you know that.
You could, if you're smart, you could retire after you finish.
Can I just get my butt kicked in the NFL as like a defensive lineman?
Well, So anywho, Le'Veon Bell decided not to report today. He will not be. He's not eligible to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. He will be a free agent next year. Adam, if you were a GM, does this season hurt his draft stock? Does it help his draft stock? Do you think he's good? Does this season by James Conner show he's not that as good as everyone thought he was? What your whole overall view on Le'Veon Bell and this season for him and the season Connor's had? What's your opinions of it?
I'm going to start. I don't think his draft stock's going to change because I think he's already been drafted. But
I didn't mean his draft stock. I meant like the money he's gonna get. His
yeah,
overall
I'm trying to
stock.
troll you, man. Just chill,
Yeah.
chill.
This is the guy who wouldn't clean out sewers for $14.5 million a year.
If I was the GM of any team in the NFL that needed a running back, I would probably not sign this guy, especially to a long-term deal. I don't feel confident in his character.
When you say long term deal, what's a long term deal? 5 years, 4 years?
I'd say 4 to 5 year deal.
Okay. So you would sign him to a 3 year deal.
I'd sign him to a 2 year deal with a third year option.
Okay. So go ahead with what you're saying though.
This isn't the first. I mean, this is obviously an extreme case because he actually is sitting out the whole season. But I know he had issues with being suspended for a few games, and there's other times he's just held out of camp just for the sake of holding out of camp. But if I'm a GM of any team, like, am I really going to put a good percentage of my salary cap into this guy when I don't even know how good he's going to come back? We don't know what kind of shape this guy's in. I mean, they've seen him at like a Planet Fitness working out, but what at the end of the day, what am I going to get from this guy? We don't really know what shape he's in, what mental state he's in. Does he really even want to like put full effort into football? I understand he's looking out for his future by taking a year off, not just playing a half year of football, saving his body for that. But there's just a point that running backs die off. I mean, you see examples like Frank Gore who's just lasted forever, but that's just a rare case. And I just don't see a long-term benefit of having a 4 or 5 year deal for a guy that you don't even know what you're going to get out of.
Okay. What do you think? Do you think the season, the amazing season James Conner has had, do you think that hurts his draft stock? It helps his draft stock? What do you think?
I think it hurts him.
I shouldn't say draft stock. Do you think it helps his free agency stock? Why do you say it hurts him?
It hurts him?
Why?
I mean, I already stated why it hurts him that way, but in terms of James Conner himself, like, I mean, this guy just came out of nowhere. Like, he proved that, like, I mean, the Steelers know how to draft. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But
I mean, this doesn't help that their offensive line is rated number 1 in the NFL. You know,
they're number 1.
that's what I was looking up something the other day, and they had them rated number 1.
The Saints' offensive line would be number 1.
No, they had them rated number 1 right now. So
props to them, but I don't see how his his free agent stock has gone up at any point, and I don't like James Conner might help that, but I don't believe the overlying factors are going to change anything.
okay, I think this season by James Conner really hurt Le'Veon Bell's draft stock. Not draft stock. I think it really hurt his overall stock in free agency. I never was the biggest fan of Le'Veon Bell. I thought he danced too much behind the line. My test with how good a player is when you go against New England, are you dominant? When Julio Jones played against the Patriots, he was dominant. You know what I'm saying? When Le'Veon Bell plays the Patriots, he just maybe he has good numbers. I don't know, but he never seems dominant. He never takes the game over because the Patriots know how to stop his little hesitation. This year shows you how good how good a rookie, basically a rookie, can be behind that line. So I think it hurt his stock. I wouldn't put that much money into him. I don't think he offers that much to you. He's a year older, and I think you can pretty much find running backs anywhere in the draft. So I wouldn't pay him that much money, to be honest. I don't really care if he held out. It's not to me. It's not like, oh man, he doesn't put the team first. I don't really care. I just don't think he's. I never had that high of opinion of Bell, and so now I have a even kind of, I don't want to say lower opinion, but he's just a year older, right? So that can't be good for anyone. But anywho, we got some games this week. The first game on Thursday night, we got Green Bay at Seattle. You excited for that? I tried to get tickets, but the tickets are pretty expensive, so didn't get them.
Anytime Rodgers plays, I get pretty excited, and especially when he hasn't won on the road this year, it kind of builds this game up a little bit more. I know Seattle's always been a good home team. That's not really the case this year. They've only played 3 home games, but they've struggled more at home than they have on the road, which is surprising. But any game Aaron Rodgers in obviously perks my attention, just as Skip Bayless would be to Tom Brady. But my case remains that I think it's going to be a good game. These two teams always play good. You had the replacement referee game. You had the playoff game where they recovered the onside kick and then went to the Super Bowl. So they always play good games, and it's definitely a Thursday night game that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that's one thing you couldn't say before, right? It's like the Thursday night games have seemed for the most part to be better this year. So like I said, if the tickets weren't so expensive, I would be going to watch the game. I live in Seattle, so I kind of bummed I'm not going to be there. Maybe I can go to his hotel the night before or something, you know. Say hi to Aaron Rodgers, shake his hand. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. The NFL schedule is actually pretty decent this week, unlike last week, where the college schedule this week is laughable. The NCAA should be fired. I know how everyone picks on the SEC, saying they play a bunch of FCS opponents this week, and they do. I mean, can't deny that. But I mean, freaking Oklahoma plays Kansas, right? Like, there's only 2 top 25 matchups this week, so don't just sit there and put it all on the SEC. For other good games, we have Carolina at Detroit. That could be an interesting game. We have Dallas at Atlanta. I hope Atlanta beats their breaks off. We have Houston at Washington. I hope Washington wins. We have Oakland at
Arizona. You like Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, we have Denver at Los Angeles Chargers. We have Philadelphia at Saints. We have Kansas City at Los Angeles Rams as the Monday night, which is not going to be in Mexico City because of how bad the field turf was. Adam, what game are you most looking forward to this week?
I mean, you just listed all of them, so like, how can I pick one?
I didn't list all of them. I didn't list Oakland and Arizona or Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. I still haven't listed all of them, so
I just see a lot of bad matchups across the board. I mean, you get teams like Arizona, Oakland. It's just, I mean, I'm a Drew Brees fan, so I'm going to definitely look forward to watching that game. Also, to see Philly hopefully get beat, just because of how much they talk about what's happened in this team, and I could just go on and on explaining why. I don't think it's really that complicated why they're failing, but
go ahead. Why is Philly? They were my team to represent the NFC out of the Super Bowl. Why is Philadelphia so bad?
Where do you want me to start? Offense,
no, you
defense?
start. You start wherever you want to. Let's go. Let's hear it.
All right, let's start offensively.
Okay, here we go.
Lack of running attack. I mean, that's what you're going to hear from probably every pundit in America, but the running attack is clearly gone. You have 2 power backs in LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi. Obviously, LeGarrette Blount is now in Detroit, and Jay Ajayi is sitting at home on IR. So the lack of a balanced rushing attack is going to hurt them. You have Wendell Smallwood, Corey Clement, and Darren Sproles is hurt as well. That's not really a power combination. I mean, you got 2 guys who can catch the ball in the backfield, but not guys you really want to run between the tackles. And that showed on that 4th and 2 play where they went for it early in the game when they're down 3-0 and they couldn't get a yard. I don't think it was a good call, but especially it's not a good call when you don't have the personnel to do so. That offensive line is very overrated. I remember in preseason that Troy Aikman was bragging how this is the best offensive line in the league. And each and every week they would let up at least like 3 sacks a game. The great Lane Johnson and Jason Peters, who I don't even know how old this dude is. Like, he is old as dirt. Those are your tackles right now.
Damn.
I don't.
You really
old.
You really
He's
don't.
Old.
No respect for Jason Peters? Wow.
He's been a great player over the years. Don't get me wrong, but that dude is definitely heading towards the end of his career. Like, there's just, like, he's not getting any younger. Lane Johnson is hurt. I don't like the system that Philadelphia runs anyway, the RPO. I know you've already spoken on how you don't like the RPO, but I think it actually hurts Carson Wentz's potential as quarterback, because you saw in that play where he threw it deep down the field to Aguilar for like a 4-yard bomb. Like, finally, they actually use this guy for his talent, because he's got a very strong arm. But like you can't really use a strong arm on an RPO. Like, you on a quick slant, that's about all you can use it for. There's no really useful in that offense to use your strength, a strong arm.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think RPO is one of the worst things in the history of the world, but um, they won the Super Bowl with it last year. I do. I think I'm disagreeing with you. I mean, I think you have really good points, but I think the main problem with this team is um, they fell too in love with themselves, and they started talking too much and started trying to become too much of like celebrities, and they didn't put the work in the same time as they did last year. And last year they had the whole underdog thing, me against the world, and they really put the work in. And in the offseason, it just felt like they wanted to be talkers, and this year it feels like they want to be talkers. For how much I hate the Patriots, you never hear them like talk in the offseason, right? They're always working, trying to get better, and Belichick won't let them, sit there and just mouth off all the time. So I think that's their primary problem. I think everyone got a little too in love with themselves. But
You can't fix that within half a season. You can't fix that yet.
I mean,
There's a point where your pride takes a hit.
I think they're probably taking a hit, but I think at this point it's just kind of like they're kind of more trying to find things to blame it on than. Uh,
I didn't even get to the defense yet. You cut me off on offense.
their defense wasn't a problem the other night. The offense should have been able to score more than it did. So
Defense has always been a problem. It was a problem last year. I didn't see what they raved about how great the secondary was. I'm like, why? They can't play man coverage. It's always zone. The only reason they're relevant is because they're pass rush, and that's the same this year. They started the game great against Dallas. The pass rush was getting there, but once Dallas started shutting the pass rush off, you saw the flaws in the defense. And I don't care that the corners were backups.
good point.
It was the same thing if Jalen Mills was in the game.
Okay, Adam has got some issues with the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, I
I'm
am
just tired of hearing the same things over and over about them. It's like they say the same problems, but there's more to it than just that. And this is not a playoff team. Like you just look across
I
the
agree,
board,
they're
it's
not.
not a playoff
But
team.
do you think anyone in the NFC East is a playoff team?
No.
I mean, I think Washington's gonna make it because their defense is so good. What the
Well, they gotta
Buccaneers?
pick somebody.
What the Buccaneers had over 500 yards of total offense and had no touchdowns.
That was just painful to watch. I don't know how many times
I didn't watch it, but I heard about. I saw the stats.
I saw it. Fitzpatrick would drive down the field. His player would fumble the ball. I love how the highlights made Ryan Fitzpatrick look so bad in the game. They showed all his turnovers, but they didn't show any of the other the screw ups. They showed the fumble that he had at the 5-yard line, but the play before, Mike Evans dropped a wide open pass. Nobody was around him. He dropped the ball. Should have been a touchdown.
All right, and
You can blame Fitzpatrick for fumbling, but it's the play before you got to look at.
Time for our favorite part. How impressed are you that Adam Gase's Miami Dolphins have not scored a touchdown since October 27th, whatever it was, against Houston? 9 quarters, the Miami Dolphins have gone without a touchdown. What do you have to say about that?
Is there anything I can say? What is there to say?
He needs to be fired. There is no. Oh my gosh, he needs to be fired. Why does he still have a job? Just fire him. The players have quit. Rashad Jones already quit the week before. He's a terrible OC. He can't coach offense. He's just not. He's not a good offensive coach. If he is, he's not with this team. And so the Dolphins need to total rehaul that front office of everybody. Everyone needs to get the front office, the GM, the head coach. I give Glenn Dorsey however much money he wants. Bring him over to Miami. It's just. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know how do you
situation.
How do you fix the Dolphins?
I mean, they've been trying to do it for years, but they keep picking guys like Randy Mueller and Jeff Ireland.
I don't know who Randy Mueller is.
He's that dude I keep telling you.
Well, no, I'm saying if you post if you gave me like a lineup of guys, I wouldn't be able to pick them out. All right, I'm gonna give you.
Blame you.
Give me
irrelevant.
Give me the 5 highlights of the Miami Dolphins this year. What are your top 5 things? Not sarcastically, but the top 5 positive things of the Dolphins season so far.
Top 5. Minka Fitzpatrick. He's looked great in about every position they put him in, even though we know that he should be
free safety.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. He's playing cornerback, but okay.
Frank Gore still playing well at his age.
Okay.
Wow. This is actually a little harder than I thought it would be. The kicker looks pretty good.
Jason Sanders, hell yeah, he's making all. Without him, we wouldn't have any points.
We didn't have any points last week without him. And he made that game winner against the Bears, even though that was a very questionable game. He did make a game winner as a rookie. That's pretty impressive. So I'll give him some props.
Okay.
Special teams has been pretty solid. Darren Rizzi's doing his job. We don't really let up too many big returns.
Okay, so that's 4. I need one more.
Man, that's really pushing it. Can I just say Matt Hawk, the punter?
That's kind of depressing with your punting your kicker.
Doing a solid job, but doing what he's told to do. Punt the ball.
Okay, my top 5 are definitely Mitchell Patrick. He's a beast. Thank God the idiots picked him. Number 2, I would say, is Kiko Alonso. He is having a Pro Bowl year. I mean, he's second in the NFL with tackles. He's got more interceptions than the other linebacker and more forced fumbles than the other linebacker. So on a bad defense, he's playing really well. Third, I will say, is Jerome Baker. I think he's going to be a good linebacker in the coming years. He's already way better than Raekwon McMillan. I think Jerome Baker's really good. 3, I guess, is the fact that Frank Gore is still being able to do okay. 4, I guess it's a punter and a kicker. I am happy that I think the Dolphins are finally gonna give up Devontae Parker after he got tackled and hurt his shoulder falling down. I mean, my gosh, I don't understand this guy. I don't understand. I don't know if have you ever seen a player more injury prone than him? I think even Sam Bradford's like agent's like, man, that's he's ridiculous.
At least Bradford put up a few respectable years.
Like this guy literally can't stay healthy. He can't. He's hurt all the time. And then you know what really makes me mad? You see him get hurt all the time, and then you see a guy like Corey Davis just destroy the Patriots, and it's like, oh, that's what you were supposed to be, you know? You feel me?
No, I feel you. 100%.
So, what are the top 5 worst things about the Dolphins season?
Top 5 for offense?
All right, I got a question. You are hired as a GM right now. You can make only 3 roster changes. When I say roster changes,
get rid of 3 players.
That's it. That's all you can do. Who is it right now?
TJ McDonald.
That's number 1. Okay.
That's just one. I'm not putting this in any particular order.
Okay.
TJ McDonald be on my top 3 list.
I agree.
Cuts to make.
I was listening about how great of stats he has this year, and he's having a career year. I'm like, you want to give me all the stats about all the missed tackles he has?
I didn't show that stat.
Exactly.
Tannehill's got to go. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yep.
Does Adam Gase count as a roster move?
No.
I'll put him with Tannehill.
Come on, you gotta give me one
Exile
more.
him at the same time.
Yeah. You still got Devontae Parker on the roster. You still got Charles Harris on the roster.
I was about to say I'm stuck on Parker and Charles Harris.
2 former
or maybe
first-round
Andre Branch. Fire them all at the same time.
I don't know. I keep Andre Branch before the other 2, just because at least Andre Branch wasn't a first-round pick you made.
I'd get rid of Charles Harris. What a waste of no talent.
I've never seen a
Pure
guy not be able to set the edge like he does. He has a special ability to get pinned and run over anytime he tries to set the edge. It's honestly amazing.
Not counting where they were drafted. Who was worse, Charles Harris or Deion Jordan?
When you say not count, that's hard to say not count when they were drafted.
With their performance on the field, who is worse?
Well, right now, who's worse?
No, who as a Miami Dolphin?
As a Miami Dolphin, Deion Jordan was worse because Deion Jordan never got on the field.
Well, to be fair, Charles Harris ain't on the field either.
Yeah, but at least Charles has been on the field a couple times now. He's gotten run over when he's on the field. But yeah, it's just Charles Harris. It's Deion Jordan. Just because Deion Jordan, I mean, literally, he was just too busy on drugs all the time.
Why would you draft any defensive player from Oregon, let alone the Pac-12?
Why would you trade up to number 3 to draft? That was Jeff Ireland saying, I know my job in Jeopardy. I need to make a move.
Wait, he traded up for that?
You don't remember that? Yes.
I don't remember them trading up for Deion Jordan.
Yes.
That's even more insulting.
Yes, you don't remember that? We traded up to 3 to get him. Because I remember watching it and I was freaking out. I was like, oh, we trade up. We're going to draft someone really good. And they said Deion Jordan. And I said, who? You don't remember that?
I don't remember them trading up. I remember them drafting him at 3, but that was 5 years ago, man. Times have changed.
Hold on, I'm gonna see what. I think we were at 8 and we traded up. Yeah, let's see. Oh, we were at 12. We traded the 12th and 42nd pick for the 3rd pick.
You could have had Lane Johnson.
What?
Ezekiel Ansah.
Let me look at the 2013. Let's look at the 2013 draft right now. Here we go.
It's pretty bad.
Eric Fisher. Let's see who the Dolphins could have. They could have had. Yeah, it's not so hot right now. Oh man.
Xavier Rhodes, Hopkins. I would have took DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. Man.
Zach Ertz. I'd take him.
Yeah. Man, you look at this first round. There were a lot of terrible players in this first round. Holy cow.
I mean, the second and third round looks pretty good.
Let me look at the second, third round. Let's see.
Well, compared to the first round, it's better. You could have Le'Veon.
Darius Slay. We got Darius Slay.
Travis Kelce.
Oh my gosh.
Tyrann Mathieu.
We could have drafted Kiko.
Keenan Allen.
Jamie Collins.
Jordan Reed.
J.J. Swearinger. Oh my. Why? Why did they
draft? Who got drafted by the Rams at the 71st pick? T.J. McDonald.
Oh gosh. He's classified as a free safety. That guy's slower than dirt. We could have had Keenan Allen.
Could he beat Tom Brady in a 40-yard dash?
It'd be rough. It'd be really, 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 really rough. We could have had Logan Ryan. There's so many good players here. Who's Will Davis? Do you remember who Will Davis is? Is he still even in the NFL?
Will Davis. Oh my gosh, no.
3rd round pick, not in the NFL anymore.
Utah State? Where's Chris Greer finding these people?
This wasn't Chris Greer.
Do we have to?
Oh my gosh.
Jamar Taylor, Boise State. Why would you ever draft a corner from Boise State?
This is just bad.
Jelani Jenkins, gone. Deion Sims, gone.
Everyone from this draft class is gone from 2013 draft class. That's how bad our draft class was.
Mike Gillislee was your best pick by the Miami Dolphins. 5th round.
We had a very bad, very, 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 very bad draft. Anywho, so we're over halfway through the year. Super Bowl picks. Who you got going to the Super Bowl?
I've gone to the Super Bowl. I'm going to stick with the Saints.
Okay.
I'm going to say Saints for NFC. I just love what they're doing. I know they're struggling to find a wide receiver. Des Bryant just got hurt.
We're both on the Saints. Who else?
Signed Brandon Marshall, so I think they're going to beat the Rams. Get there from the AFC.
Don't you take my pick? Don't you do it?
I can pick whoever I want, Ian. It's free country.
Well, I'm gonna say it first because I said since the beginning of the year the LA Chargers are going to Super Bowl. Philip Rivers.
I'm still not sold on them.
Philip Rivers versus Drew Brees.
I would love that matchup. Like I would pay for that matchup.
And you know who I'd pick in the Super Bowl? The Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm like, you're going to try to surprise me here.
I love Drew Brees, but I think the defense is good enough for the Los Angeles Chargers that they would beat the Saints.
I think the Chargers have a good team. They just haven't proven enough to me to say like they're still not strong enough defensively in my mind to hang with the Chiefs yet. I mean, they got a matchup coming up, and I'm going to look forward to watching that matchup. But until then, they're still borderline for me right now.
I'm telling you, they're going to win every game now. They're past their first 2.5 months of the season. They're good, man. They're good to go.
We'll see about that. If they get Joey Bosa back, I'll definitely be in consideration.
Is he ever going to come back?
It's a great question.
What's wrong with him?
Year. Who's going to come back first, Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa?
Maybe Nick Bosa at this rate. What's his problem? What's Nick Bosa's the one for San Diego or Los Angeles? What's wrong with him?
Take a look.
That would probably be a good idea, you know.
I want to be a credible source here.
Last Stalling for Time is really good.
Nagging foot injury.
Oh my gosh, what a...
He's
Well,
going through reps in practice, but has not officially been active this season.
they just don't. They just don't want to. The Bosa's just like to get that paycheck and not play. I guess that's what it is.
I feel he's missed more games in his career than played.
It sure feels like that. But you know who he's not as
Because
fragile as.
he held out his first year.
Yeah, but you know who's more fragile than him? Devontae Parker.
Is he on the hate board?
Yeah, Devontae Parker's been on the hate board. I got a lot
Is
of
he
hate
up
on
in
him.
Ryan Tannehill range?
No,
Adam
because
Gase
because
range?
because everyone else knows about him now. People still will defend Tannehill. Me getting in arguments with
Why?
Dolphins fans on Twitter. Because I don't know. Because people have this fancy. People just want to believe that Ryan Tannehill's a good quarterback, and he's not. He's just not. He just is what it is. You can't get over it. But why are we talking about Ryan Tannehill? You know I can't stand Ryan Tannehill.
Because I talked about.
You cut out, so no one knows what you said. The NFL is advertising right now Miami Dolphins stuff to me, and it's Ryan Tannehill stuff. Are you kidding me? They know. Anyone wants proof the government's not watching? This is it right here. The government's totally watching. Not just the government, but NFL shop. You feel me, Adam?
I don't know, man.
They're totally. This is bull crap. What do you think of Hugh Jackson going back to join the Bengals?
As a special assistant,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised. That's where he was his most successful as a assistant coach. The Bengals looked terrible against the Saints on Sunday.
They sure do.
They have no AJ Green probably till early December. It's a tough call for them. This make or break time for them. They're a game and a half behind the Steelers right now. They got a big matchup with the Ravens this week. It's gonna be tough for them. They got to win. It's that simple. And whatever's going to help Andy Dalton be successful. If it's Hugh Jackson, then I hire Hugh Jackson by all means.
Oh man, you're advocating hiring Hugh Jackson after you slaughtered him for how bad he was coaching the Browns?
Because he's a bad head coach.
Oh man, it's almost like Adam's a little hypocritical right here.
I mean, how many offensive coordinators have you seen? Great offensive coordinators, but not great head coaches.
Just saying, she's a little hypocritical.
I don't think it is.
Well,
There's a big difference between head coach and assistant coach.
Is there though? Is there?
I think Andy Dalton was a little more successful under Hugh Jackson, if I'm not mistaken.
I agree there. He probably was. Doesn't make it more hypocritical though. Sitting there hating
I
on
don't
my
see
boy.
how this is hypocritical.
My boy Hugh. You hating on my boy Hugh for no reason?
I just praised him. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe you're the hypocritical one.
Probably. Anywho, that's what I concluded for us this podcast. We just kind of didn't have much to talk about this one. We just want to kind of wing it and see how it went. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, tell us what's the best theme park you've ever been to. That's a good question for people to answer. Anywho, as for Adam, we're going to go ahead and sign off this episode. So have a good one, guys.